Hello guys, Trenchforge Armory, and today I went out and collected some clay, and was doing a video on refining clay before, but the clay that I had collected was just a piece of crap. And these buckets aren't light; they're pretty heavy. I also got some aluminum while I was in the creek, lots of clay, and the goal is to make this into usable stuff, and our end product's going to look very similar. But I'm going to haul these around back, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the clay crushed up, and I got the clay crushed up, and then little like a batch here. And the plan is to let this soak until it turns into slip, which it's beginning to do. It'll take about 3 days if you stir it with something like that. And then I just fill it with water. So that entire, I don't even know how many gallons that is, but that entire bucket is full of clay. And that's 2 5-gallon buckets of raw ore, the two that I hauled around. So hopefully that'll work, and the clay should just start breaking down, basically. So stuff like that just goes right in there. Yeah, see you in the next part. So it's been about 3 days since the last video, or since the last little segment, and I put everything in this bucket, and it refined into something like that. And this is great, and it's getting there, but it just, the water to clay content was just too high, too much clay, and just couldn't break down. So I have it in 3 separate buckets. This will turn into slip, and I should hopefully be able to add it into 1 major bucket. So I'm just gonna add a bunch of water to these. So the clay is refining. This is the old stuff, and then this is the new stuff. Just reaching my hand in. Yeah, there's still a lot, but it's a lot of slip, which is nice. But these should keep refining, and yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Okay, so just continuing this video. This is a bucket of slip. I'm taking out all of the rubble. So that includes like large chunks of clay like this, which is refinable, but they're just so hard. So what I'll do is I'll crush those up. Also, all the rocks like this, it's just a rock, and that's useless. So I'll crush all that stuff up, and probably do it in the lab. So then this is all slip. This is the last unrefined bucket. This is just an empty bucket, and then this is all slip. There's the drilling apparatus over there. Empty bucket, slip, slip. Like incomplete. Over here, I brought out this cart and filled it with clay, with slip, and then this is the vat. This is the refining vat, and this is simply just a piece of canvas stretched by 2 sticks, supported in a little frame here. So that should take most of the moisture out. It's a little bit wet down there. Should take all the moisture out, and then I'll just be able to consolidate those remaining pieces of slip here, and use either these 2 tools to load them into that once this batch is done. So this is a 2-batch process. I did a lot of clay. I got a lot of clay today, or I got a lot of clay in this video, and this is about a week or 2 after the last little segment. So this is the last step, and it takes a while. You'll still have waste. I have taken down the bucket of slip, or the container of slip. This is like a month and a half later. So, taking down the container. There's nothing left over there. That's where I had set it up. And now you'll have some thicker and some thinner stuff depending on how big your batch is. So thicker as in more, yeah, thicker consistency, and thinner as in thinner consistency. So what you do then is you take the tarp that you refine the clay with, dry it out, wash it out, then dry it out, and then put it on the ground like I did here. Same tarp, and just put the balls of clay on it, balls of, yeah, and then dry them out to your consistency. So if I want it a little bit firmer, like this, or if I want it a little less firm, depending on what you're going to do with it, you can do that. You can powder it. You can dry it out completely and then powder it. That's easier to transport or whatever you want to do with it. Once you're at this stage, you're really pretty much done. And then you can make it into little billets or little hunks of clay, and then you're done. So just to recap on the entire process, you get the clay, crush it up, and then you start liquefying it. Once liquefaction is done and it's starts to slip, you run it through a sieve, and that sieve takes out the big rocks and chunks of clay that did not turn into slip. Then you put it in a canvas or something that takes some moisture out of it. You can put it on like a plaster sheet, or you could even spread it out on a tarp in the sun. Take the moisture out, however you want to do that, and then you can take the same, and then you take more moisture out until you get to your consistency. So that's how it's done, and hopefully this is a useful video, and I hope it helped. Thanks. Thanks for joining me.